Another Tuesday, another podcast. Here you are, Chief Shawn in the meth house that's sort of like a studio.
It's something like an office.
And we have the legendary Jeff Lutz.
The champ.
In our shanty.
It is a shanty.
Speaking to us. We hope it don't rain because it'll come through this
If it
building.
rains, we're going to get wet.
It rained like hell last
That's
night.
why I have sandals on in case it gets wet over here.
Damn.
Jeff Lutz is here. He came to help me get ready for this last race week, and he's got a little time to kill. It didn't really pan out.
Yeah,
It didn't really work out for him.
So he's in the studio with us today, and we're going to be talking about the things we always talk about. The show that we're not allowed to talk about, first of all.
Yes.
On the channel that we can't talk about.
We can't.
And it's full of characters that we're not allowed to talk about.
We can talk about everybody but Monza.
Yeah, we can't. We just can't talk
Damn
about
it, man.
Monza. Hey, I'm not going to talk about Monza.
There's a lot to talk
about. I mean,
about,
after the shit that went down with me and Monza this week, I'm not talking about him. I'm not saying one word about him.
He's very mad on you.
Yeah, well, so is everybody else. So, we're now on iTunes. I don't know how that happened, but our podcast is moving on up.
It is.
We're on iTunes.
Nice.
It seems like it's doing pretty good.
Deluxe Apartment in the Sky. iTunes. Look it up for, it says to put in your search for the Chief and Shawn show on iTunes.
But if you're listening to this, then you figured it out. Good job.
Well, you can subscribe, though.
Nice.
And then it's just in your iPhone all the time. If you got an Android, then,
Sorry, guys.
Flip it over.
whatever.
Yeah, you guys should go blue.
He said if you got an Android, flip it open.
Flip it over. I used
If
to
you
have
got
an
an
Android.
Android,
Hey, Sean, remember my Android,
yeah,
huh?
I remember I couldn't hang out with you until you got an iPhone. If you got an Android, then you need to do some
Step
reevaluating
it up.
anyways. And you probably shouldn't be trying to listen to a podcast. You should reevaluate some of the choices you have made in life.
But they take great pictures, Sean.
I don't care. I don't care.
No one will ever see them.
No,
You can't text them.
You got to email them to everybody. You can't send
You
videos.
give them to them on a floppy disk. So, Jeff is here. Later on in the show, we're going to be answering questions from the internet for Jeff, and I can't wait. I'm sure they're
Yeah.
fucking
I'm
amazing.
sure there's some sweet ones.
I'm sure.
It's going to be great.
In case you guys don't know Jeff Lutz, he is the winner of a lot of drag weeks and drag weekends, and I think they've even got it now where it's like drag afternoon, drag lunch breaks.
As long as it's drag race.
They
that's
just keep
all.
shortening it up.
Drag 30
Yeah,
minutes.
they're
stuff like
they're
that.
getting all the pro mods in there, so they're just shortening the
Yeah,
deal
they
up.
shorten it up for the guys that can't finish drag week. You know what I mean?
That's
They
us.
said, "Oh, you failed. Bring it over
Me
here."
and Sean didn't even have a pro mod. We couldn't finish. We didn't even make it on
I remember you guys on day one.
Hey,
Yeah.
wasn't that your first day at drag week too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ever.
So we show up there and we see Jeff Lutz way out in the field by himself, and we're like, "Man, that guy's cool as hell. He's got a flat black 57,
Yeah.
and he's dressed in all black, and he's
He was an
badass,
asshole,
and he
though.
was a total prick." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow,
That was-
fuck that guy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Jeff Lutz is the nicest guy ever. Yeah, we met him before he was cool, I
Yeah.
guess, because when we walked over there, he was a jerk off.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
hey, I seen you guys. You had shit flying off the Nova, mufflers
You had
and
shit
shit.
flying off your
still
car
have shit
too.
flying off
yeah,
the
but
Nova.
I mean, goddamn, I put the fastest pass ever down right there. I
Yeah.
mean, that was my first time
Yeah.
at drag week.
Well, we put
And
our
I seen-
fastest pass
Yeah,
ever
we
down
did.
too. It was 820, motherfucker.
When I met you guys, I looked at Sean when he got out of Nova, and I'm like, God damn,
Look-
how'd he get in that car?
It looked like I've been in there since birth.
God damn, nobody knows. You know?
Dude,
I'm
I know.
like,
That's back when
damn.
we
Car.
were really fat.
Yeah.
we
And it was-
were.
And it was two really fat dudes going to
Yep.
drive down the road.
All right. We were huge.
Huge.
Between us, I think we were 700 pounds.
You
Yeah.
guys were big.
We like to eat,
Hey.
you know.
You had a lot of eating going
But
on.
once you get a little older and you have kids and you get off drugs and you're just like they
All
don't
right.
have a lot going for you anymore, you just get fat. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
where we came up with all of our good ideas.
But now we're
At
back
lunch.
on drugs. We're not seeing our kids anymore, and we're on the straight and narrow.
sleep.
We're back to
Yeah.
we're not sleeping, we're not eating right, and we don't see our family. So we're looking good. We're
Good. I mean, you guys look a lot better today than you did when I met you.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the Nova still looks the same.
It does.
And parts still fly off.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. You just won drag weekend,
Yes.
which is like drag week but shorter.
3 days instead of 5.
3 days instead of 5. It's still
It was grueling.
how many
I mean,
miles?
on the West Coast, that was pretty cool because we never do it out west.
How many miles?
That far. It was 500 miles. The first track wasn't bad. It was only 120. That was an easy shot.
I was
the
like
next
nothing
one
for
was,
you.
That was 350 the last shot.
350 miles in between the last track.
One shot, yeah,
Ooh,
straight
wow.
to California, and it was pretty cool driving
then-
across the border.
That's what I was fixing to say. So I've never driven into California. You know, I mean, you've seen me on the show, but it was fake. But the
Yeah.
show's fake.
We
You
didn't
know,
drive
We
there.
didn't drive there.
No
So,
show.
in real life, when you drive into California from the south, you don't just cruise across the border and there's a big sign that says "Welcome to California."
No, they stop you. And
There's a checkpoint.
absolutely, and
to
it's loaded
see-
with guards and people staring at you, and
Yeah, you can't take vegetables or fruit in, and
Yeah.
Did they check your car for all that?
No, they really
Did they
didn't
find
know
all those
what
bana-
to do.
Did they find all those bananas?
They didn't know what to
Cucumbers
do.
and, all that stuff.
What's wrong with cucumbers, man?
It's
Seen you
just
deep
smuggling
throating the
in.
microphone over there. What are you
It
talking?
looked like the driver's smuggling some grapefruit. Yeah, so you pull up to the checkpoint, and there's all these armed guards and shit. And, I mean, Jeff's in a flat black Pro Mod Camaro. What is it, 68?
69.
69. Flat
It's
black.
titled as a
six-
67, but it's
Titled?
A
Oh
69.
my God!
We
You
all
gotta
know.
have a title, baby.
We all know that car is not fucking titled.
Yeah.
I got a title, baby.
Yeah.
That car's never seen Detroit.
Yeah, I've got a title too. My car's a 78 Cessna. If I want it to be.
Yeah.
So you drive across the checkpoint. Now you're pulling a trailer.
Absolutely. You have everything I need, spare parts, which I didn't need any of them.
2 big slicks hanging off the side of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I did need was the slicks for the race.
But you had slicks on the car for driving.
I had your number 1 slicks
yeah,
on
the
the
one
car.
that won Armageddon and got me the number 1 spot.
Absolutely.
And beat the brakes off of John Doe. Sorry. For 20
That's
grand.
pretty cool.
You had those. So when you changed the tires, you didn't put street tires on. You put slicks on.
Slicks on. Yeah, to keep the gear ratio the same. Because the
Right.
34.5.
So the cops let you cruise into California with this car. No, I mean the emissions on this car have to be super clean, right?
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess I mean it's on alcohol, baby. Come on. No. But I guess it's from where the car is titled from, and it's titled in Pennsylvania, so I don't
Right.
have admissions.
No, I mean 'cause the only thing in Pennsylvania is horses and
Yeah.
like Amish
Come
people.
on
now.
The only emissions is when they fart.
Carriages.
When they shit on the road. That's the emissions in Pennsylvania. They're like, we got to get to make the barn. Just shit all over.
Horses and buggies just
Hey, we
everywhere.
got some
up
fat
there.
shit over there.
Yeah,
So,
hey, no, you do. You definitely do for sure. So, what was your average ET at drag weekend?
The average went to 640 something. I don't know.
Quarter mile.
Quarter mile.
So
Yeah.
you're out there running 620s and shit, quarter mile.
Yes.
Driving this car around.
Yes. And with the first 2 days we went 620, same ET, same exact everything. And the last day we went to hell, I never can remember that track's name. It was in California, but I pulled the chutes early. Fontana. Wow.
That's a real
It
nice
should have
place.
stayed a parking lot.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah,
pretty-
it used
I've
to
never
be a
been there.
parking lot.
Really? It used
Yeah.
to be, and then it should still be one.
It's a nice parking lot.
But it's
Yeah.
a shitty racetrack.
Woo!
Really?
Yeah. That's where Mike Bowman wrecked, Scott Okus wrecked. Yeah, it's
So that dropped the ET down a little
yeah.
bit.
I
That
went
place.
7-0, and I was like, I got to have this car at Seaman tomorrow. I'm not pounding it up.
Yeah.
So,
So it's bumpy or what?
yeah, it's got a real big dip at the end.
Really?
Mid. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's a little worse than racing on the street. I would say. Maybe.
Yeah. That's bad.
it's bad.
That is bad.
Yeah, but I've seen some of the streets you guys race on, so
Yes, you have.
it's
You've seen
it's
a
pretty
couple.
close.
You've
Yeah,
been out there with us a couple times.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was out there with us the other night.
He was.
Sick as a fucking dog,
Puking
dude.
my
puking
guts.
everywhere.
I got pictures of this motherfucker on the side of the Flying J.
Did
in
you take a
Choctaw,
picture of me
Oklahoma.
puking?
Oh yeah, buddy.
You son of
I
a
got
bitch.
fucking pictures of this motherfucker sitting on the Flying J right next to their big fucking electrical box, and he's just yakking. I mean, he's 15 foot from the door to the place. Like he didn't even go out in the parking lot or nothing.
I couldn't
he's got
make
his-
it, man.
He's got his bag full of goodies, and I'm fucking putting ice in the cooler, and he walks right by me and he goes, "Hey, I think I'm gonna puke." And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah." Walks right to the end of the trailer and just starts yakking all over the sidewalk.
Oh While I was puking, I was trying to look to see if that, deer did any damage that we whacked on the way.
We sure did. Then we come around the corner. There's an 8-point buck sitting in the road looking at me like, what are you going to do?
Like, what's up?
Yeah. Of course, we were watching a movie, and I'm texting and reading a book and everything you can think of. So by the time I looked up, it was over. We whacked that fucking deer, and it caught one of our tires and whatever.
That started the night out pretty good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the inside tire, right? So you had to swap a tire?
Yeah.
It was the back.
Yeah. It was the end.
Nice.
Alicia and Monkey did it while me and Jeff sat in the truck.
Yeah, I was sick. Chief was still texting.
Yeah, of course. And Monkey jump out, have that deal done in no time.
God damn. We felt the whole truck rocking when he was tightening that shit up,
Yeah. He probably stripped out 3 lug nuts,
broke
2-3 wrenches. That's just what Monkey does.
He's a tough
Hey, but he got it done.
Yeah, exactly. He gets everything done.
Yep.
So, Jeff, you were in town last night.
Yep.
So you watched the show.
I did.
Okay. What did you think about the show last night? And this is the show that came on last night on that channel that we're not allowed.
Discovery Channel called Street Outlaws.
Yeah, those. No.
We weren't allowed to say that, right?
No.
Okay.
Can't say that.
So,
Can't.
I thought the farm truck and Asian deal was pretty cool with I don't know what the hell she's called. When farm truck called her.
Yeah, the medium.
The medium.
Medium. I loved it when he called out bullshit on
that.
Yeah.
Farm truck saw right through her shit, too.
Absolutely.
That is what made the funniest to me was that farm truck didn't play along with the whole shenanigans.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, whatever.
And at the end with
he
the
didn't believe
Luis
her.
and the bottle, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
So, I mean, farm truck's a pretty smart dude.
Yep.
Asian's pretty smart dude, but together it just seems like they don't have it.
Yeah.
It's like they get together, they cancel each other out. I believe that there's something going on in that firehouse because it's kind of a spooky place.
And they've told us that before too.
And I believe
even
that there's some shit going
off
on
the
there.
show.
But they hire. I mean, did they get any references on this lady? Because she shows up over there and says, "Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Fire. I was thinking fire."
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Really?
No, man, they met her down at the Waffle House.
Yeah,
she's down
she
there
may
cooking.
have been down there when we were
cooking
down
or delivered their food at the Waffle House, and may have overheard them talking and said, "No, I'm
maybe
psychic."
she just whipped the apron off
I'm a
and they
psychic.
started filming with her. And,
Yeah.
There's the outfit.
she's like, no, that's what I do on the side. That's my
Yeah.
day job. Is
Yeah.
I'm a psychic.
I just work here at night.
Psychic.
So she's walking around with some sage. Okay, I know a little bit about that shit. My family is pretty serious about that kind of stuff, and
No.
yeah, and she's walking around with sage, and she's just waving it about, and I'd like to talk to Farm Truck just to see if that did anything for their little spirit problem over there. But the fact that she said that the hearse felt really weird, I mean, it looks like death.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
it is death.
Inside
I'd like to
it-
see her walk through there with a blindfold on because she was way off.
Way
Oh,
off.
the casket, nothing. The casket I got nothing on, but the back room that they added on a year ago. Oh, there's weird spirits going on in there.
Yeah.
It's all the antiques farm
Yeah.
truck got in there. Man.
Yeah.
They're sending out some
Well,
bad
that's the other
mojo.
thing is
Yeah.
the farm truck gets those things from estate sales where people actually do
Crazy.
die.
Yeah.
And she didn't pick up on any of that shit. She didn't pick up on the Louise thing. I don't know, man. Maybe she's good
I
at
think
it,
she was a phony.
but she's a big fat,
Fat
phony.
That's what I think. Look, she's a phony. That's what I think.
Yeah, farm truck thinks she's a phony too.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, I thought it was funny though. It was a good bit to the show.
Yep.
And what's the deal with Chuck being a spy?
You asked him to do
That
You're
was
the one that
weird.
told him to do it.
No, I didn't. That's just it. I don't know what happened there.
I believe you called him a mole.
Yeah, no, he looks
He's
like
a
a
mole.
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 Mole. No, he looks. I mean, I don't understand that either. After the show, when we were cutting the show and they're having us do the interviews, they were like, "All right, I need you to say that you got your spy Chuck watching Dave's test hits," and I was like, "Huh?" I was like, I don't give a
I think-
shit about Dave's test hits.
Yeah.
I'm number one.
Yeah, and we know it ain't going to be fast.
Oh,
You
I
know?
walked in on that
Yeah, remember?
That's
Yeah,
when you said, I ain't saying this shit.
Yeah, you walked in
Yeah,
last week. We were doing that fucking interview.
laughing my ass
And I
off.
told him, I said, I'm
He's
not
like-
saying none of this fucking shit.
He's like, I don't give a shit if Dave beats Farm Truck.
No,
Or
why do
Farm Truck beats Dave.
Yeah, yeah,
Why would I say that?
yeah.
I'm like, go, Chief, go.
Yeah, dude, that pissed me off. They were trying to have me say all that stuff. I'm like, they're like, we want it to be you guys against Dave. I was like, why? I was like, Dave's got enough trouble of his own. His fucking car's slow. Like, why don't he doesn't need any help from me?
Yeah,
Right?
That's why whenever you say
He needed
things,
all the help he could get.
that's why, like, whenever you say things like it's Goliath versus the 405, they use all that stupid shit.
Yeah, they do.
You know, so whenever we're really sarcastic and, oh, Dave's going to be on top, you know, they use all that shit, you know, because that's the stuff that they
Then
want.
when he said, oh, my God.
Yeah,
they
I
blew
wasn't.
that out.
Oh, wasn't?
Jesus. I mean, I was sick of hearing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was it. Like I think you were talking about farm trucks.
I was
right?
actually talking about the how close they were.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they wanted me to say in an interview that Dave was on motor against the Elko because they really didn't have any other explanation of why it was so close.
Yeah. Why he only beat the Elko by 2 cars?
Who's your daddy?
But
Yeah.
I mean,
but somebody said it, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I heard.
Dave.
Did Dave say
said
that he
it,
was on
yeah.
motor?
He said the nitrous was not working inside the car.
Well, no, it wasn't working. I remember the pass that they pulled up there. Dave's nitrous did quit,
Which was at the starting line.
But Kamikaze gave him time to fix it,
Yeah.
and we
Oh, he
sat
did.
there on the starting line, and they fixed it. They got it. They brought the computer up and all the
And then it
electrical
showed him
geniuses
fired up in the pits and then drive back up
yeah,
there.
that's
because
weird.
His problem with the nitrous was at the starting line.
Yeah, no, we
It
fixed
wasn't
it.
in the pits.
Okay.
No, they
was
fixed
in the
it
starting
on the
line.
starting
But,
line.
you know, any of the runs that I seen last night of that Nova, none of the candles were lit. Like,
dude,
like the
that
Elko.
one though, when he's only on one
Well,
or two,
not like the Elko.
those aren't even
Shit
really
flying out
The
of
candles.
the
Elko
Elko
headers
all
are
the
about
time.
this
Yeah.
long,
Plus
and
the- right
it's
on.
got all the nitrous
Plus
in
the
it.
Elko, those aren't really candles. Those are torches because
Torches.
we're burning
Torches.
shit in
Yeah.
there. Now no, but in Dave's defense, I mean, when he's only on one system or two small
don't
ones,
see
that
it?
car don't flame real bad.
No.
you know, 'cause
Okay.
No, it
it's
doesn't.
EFI.
Yep.
You know, and they
Oh,
got
yeah.
the tune real clean on it, so it's not going to flame real bad. But you can tell when he's on two or one big one because it does have some flames. But
Yep.
it didn't that night. He was taking it easy on the car for real.
No,
'cause
he was. He was.
he knew that if he got a chance, he was going to go up as high as he could, make as many passes as he needed. But the TV show people and the people in California, of course, they want Goliath to make a statement.
Well, yeah.
You know, so they wanted him to beat everybody by 15 cars or whatever. They don't understand how this works, and that is, you know, it doesn't matter how bad you beat somebody if you can't race the next round. You know what I mean? So Dave was playing it smart, but
He was.
they just didn't have any way of explaining it because, like, the people at home, they see you beat the El Camino by 2 cars, then they're like, yeah, he's not going to make it up to number 1.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make it seem like Dave is going to, you know,
Thunder right up
yeah,
there,
exactly.
yeah.
Which he was doing good. He went really far. He beat a bunch of people. So
And he beat Shane, and that I really thought that was going to be the end of his night there with Shane, and I'm not real sure what happened.
Shane said
Shane-
he just didn't make a good pass.
well, I mean, back then Shane wasn't making any good passes. He was
Oh,
just
really?
slow.
It was just consistent.
Yeah, 109 mile an hour,
Yeah. Yeah.
literally.
Hmm.
He'd run 5 teens at 109.
No
Yep.
kidding.
With
Bob.
Yeah, him and Bob. Bob's going, floor it. Floor it.
Are you on it
Shane's-
yet?
Shane's over there. I am. It's on the floor. I don't know what to do. Turn it up,
I think
Bob.
Shane fights with him in the car.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
definitely argue.
They
Oh, yeah.
sword fight. How about the El Camino shutting my dyno off?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You could
'cause I
see
didn't
it.
want to tell you.
Where was I at? I even looked at Aaron last night. We're watching it, and I'm going, I missed this. I missed this whole deal because I went somewhere. I had something, and I had to leave, and I was there when we put the El Camino on the dyno. But then once
You had been up all night every night with me.
I don't remember. I just thought that it was weird on the show. Whenever I was watching it, I was just like, it's weird. I just
Yeah, on
wasn't
half
there.
of that pool, you could see where the screen blacked out on it.
Yeah, what
I've
happened
seen
was
that.
the monitor. So the monitor's on the passenger side. Nobody had moved it over. So the headers blew the monitor over, and it hit the plug that everything's plugged into on the wall.
Yeah.
They didn't show that.
Oh, it just showed nobody knew what happened.
No, I just acted like the Elko made so much power it shut the dyno off.
Well, it could have.
That's a good
No.
plug for Mustang Dyno.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, you can't make enough time. No, you can't make enough power. How much power did you make on my dyno, Jeff?
2150.
Or on Sean's dyno? Sorry,
2150.
2150. The Elko didn't make that. I
No.
promise.
No,
I didn't shut
No,
it
but
off,
hey,
damn
it
it.
hit
Hey,
the-
we had a
it-
tire shake problem, though. Shawn took care of that.
Yeah, we handled that. That wasn't even a problem.
It
No.
blew that fucking monitor over, and the monitor hit the. Because there's a plug that looks like the one on Back to the Future when he's
It looks like
hooking
Clark
up.
Griswold's.
Yeah.
With all of it. Hey, and there's only one plug there, but we need to plug
Yes.
in 15 things.
That's the way the dyno's plugged in. Well, the
And
monitor.
your brother's
clipped-
an electrician.
Yeah, when the monitor clipped that, everything went blank. And it was good
Perfect.
for me because I was so tired and I was so mad because we had to race the next day, and my car wasn't ready and Sean's car wasn't ready, and I'm dealing with Farm Truck and El Camino. And because remember they said that Dave had to race on that. It was like 2 nights before we went to Kansas City. Remember, my car was nowhere near ready.
My car's never ready. So.
Yeah.
Well, they've had us pissed off. So then anyway, then the Elko showed up and we downloaded it. And we downloaded the Farm Truck right after. But yeah, it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I watched the Elko make a couple pulls on motor, and then I remember I left because Aiden had a game or something. Yeah, and then I can't really remember. I don't know. I didn't come back for sure though.
No. I remember you were like, "Good luck with that."
Farm truck's deal went good.
The
They
dyno,
didn't really show a whole lot of it on the show.
the dyno.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it went. Yeah, Farm Truck's dyno went okay.
Yep.
It was more of no, it didn't. No, it didn't. I remember now. Holy shit.
Okay.
Hell no, it didn't go good. We put it on the dyno. It wouldn't run where the fuck it. The rotor melted out of it. It
Oof.
melted the rotor bug out
I
of it
remember
because
that.
of the rotor
Okay.
phasing.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, rotor phasing.
rotor
Shoo.
phasing. That's really. I mean, that's really about it on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I can't
didn't
think
see
of
any Fast
anything else that
cars.
stood out. Right?
No, I didn't. No, I did not at all.
Shane said a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to Bob.
Kick your ass.
I'm gonna kick his ass. Show him how
He
good I
looked
am.
like him saying it too.
It was pretty much just bottom 5 stuff, right?
Yeah.
Doc Monza didn't race?
Nope.
Ugh. Well, tune in next week to see how far Dave gets,
Yeah.
right? Or
I don't know.
or-
Are they showing
well,
Dave?
no.
Yeah,
Or not.
You know.
Maybe we need to get Dave here in the studio next week and talk about why he stopped going up the list after that. Why
Yeah.
didn't he keep going?
What
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, and where was Derek?
He was hard at work.
Oh, I got you.
Service writing.
Yeah.
Service
18-hour days, 5 a.m. comes early, man. You can't. You got to work. Sometimes you got to
Works
go
too
on
goddamn hard to be fucking
dealing with
cameras and stuff.
fucking Goliath bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. He knew Goliath wasn't going to get to him anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go over what happened this week, not on television, in real life.
Uh-oh. You're here? You're here?
I'm here. I'm here against
Thank
my
God.
will. Right now, I got so many Percocets running through me.
Yeah.
I'm perky.
You look
Yeah.
good, though.
I can't believe you got a hoodie on.
I
know
Instead
you're
of the
hot.
sweatshirt.
Oh,
I know
God
you're
damn.
hot.
It's because I don't have a T-shirt on underneath.
Wearing pants.
It's because on the way here, I was in
He
a.
snuck in here.
I was in a.
He
He hasn't left. He hasn't moved from that spot since we
I don't
walked
have
in.
any
Son of
pants
a
on.
bitch.
No pants
The
on.
guy in the taxi was like, "Really?"
You text and was like, "All right, guys, I'm
you
up
got
front."
dropped off too.
Yeah, I
Damn,
can't
man.
drive like this.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
a-
wondering because he texted and was like, "All right, guys, I'm in the office. Let's do this podcast."
Yeah.
And I looked outside. I didn't see no truck, and I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way he parked in the front parking lot."
We were waiting for you to roll back, move
Nah.
the trailer, all the shit you were talking about in the hospital
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah, I remember when you said all that.
So I made it. So I'm out of the hospital.
You are. Out
Thank
of the hospital.
I'm
goodness.
here. I'm still alive. Yay for me.
Yeah, good job on that deal.
Let's.
Yeah.
Fuck. God. So let's start off. Let's start off with what I'm going to call the worst week ever.
Dude,
It
it
was-
was,
it
it was
was
a
heavy.
bad week for you, man.
It was
Bad
my
week.
worst.
Even testing all week was bad. For
It was
you.
my worst week ever.
I mean, plus we had the shits all week too.
Dude.
You
You're the one
guys
who gave
got-
all
hey.
of that to us.
You guys got
You do
some
realize
funk.
you gave everybody here that.
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, I won't appreciate that.
Hey,
I hugged the
look,
bowl for hours and hours.
I ain't selfish.
Yeah, no, you
It ain't
shared
no
it
fun
around.
if the homies can't
He gave
have
a little
none.
bit to everybody.
Yeah.
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
That's it, bro.
That day I left here,
Holy.
I was trying to make it home, and I called my wife, and I was like, hey, do me a favor. And she was like, what? And I said, clean the toilet up real good. Because when I put my head in it here in a minute, I don't want it to smell like shit. So, and I didn't make it home.
I try not to shit in the toilet. Or I try not. I try.
Really?
Okay, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
so
Okay, wait a minute.
hang on. Whoa.
Hang on. That's
Let's
a little
He
weird.
is
leave
messed
your
up
crash
right now.
alone. Let's set that aside for a minute. Where do you shit?
No, in the woods. That's where, because I'm a bear,
He
motherfucker.
did hit his head pretty
No,
good.
I try not to puke in the toilet. I usually puke out the window or out of a moving car, or I try and go outside somehow, or just right there on the floor.
I like
Yeah.
doing it behind the
Yeah,
pilot.
my I like puking in my kid's toy box.
Yeah.
Let him find it later.
Dad, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we start off this week. Last week we get the call. Detroit's coming. You know, America voted Detroit as our next big race. So Detroit's coming. We're going to race them here in Oklahoma. They're bringing their baddest cars ever, right? Like
Right.
that's what's going down last week. So I start trying to get my shit ready. I go out testing on Tuesday, right?
Was that the night I didn't go? I went on that night.
Yeah, it was Tuesday because you text me Wednesday.
Yeah.
Late Tuesday night.
So
early
Tuesday, I
Wednesday.
go testing to get ready for Detroit.
It was Tuesday.
I pull into this really, really shitty parking lot at this test spot.
It was brutal.
I just spent the last 3 days setting up the 4-link, setting up the suspension, getting ready for Detroit.
Lowering the car, too.
Oh, and I
Add
lowered
that
the
in
car.
there.
I lowered the car. What do you
You did. You did lower
in the
it.
weeds? So we go to this terribly shitty parking lot. We unload the car. Shawn says,
I
Shawn
got
says-
you.
God damn it.
Shawn says,
I know where this
God
is going.
damn it.
Hang on, listen, goddammit. Shawn says, Chief, when you back up out of here, go this way, then go that way, and then go this way, and then pull over this way, and then watch out for this hole and go around that hole. And I looked at him like, what the fuck? And he goes, you know what? I got you. And I was like, thank you, Shawn. So he's backing me out of this
Thank
parking
you,
lot.
Shawn.
So
Yeah.
Shawn backs me up. We make a clean exit from the trailer.
Man, everything's going perfect.
Shawn's pulling me forward. Shawn's in front of the car, pulling me forward, making sure that I miss all of the giant holes and craters and rocks in this parking lot. And I'm doing
Well, first off,
2
hang on,
mile an
it was
hour.
grass.
Part of it was grass. Yeah,
Okay,
we were 5 foot from the gravel.
Okay.
Almost made it.
We all
It was like it was like I could see America. You know what I mean? Hey, and then Shawn's pulling me up. He's moving. He's telling me go this way, telling me go that way.
You got it.
And then all of a sudden, dude, right as soon as Shawn says, "Okay, you got it," my fucking car fell into the Grand Canyon of a
Yes.
hole. Right,
Man.
the whole front end dives into this hole.
It did.
And it rips the fucking fiberglass front end off the front of my car.
Like off of
I
it.
mean, in the car, it sounded like a grenade went off.
Wait,
behind
I
the
know what he
headlights.
said.
My
bad.
No, hey, Shawn goes, son of a bitch. Hey, and then he takes his hand and he makes a fist and he hits his heart with it twice and he goes, my bad. Like, hey, that's my fault. Sorry.
It didn't happen. It's all good.
And I was sitting in the car and I don't even want to get out because I'm just so upset right now that I just know that I broke my front end. And I said, how bad? Shawn goes, man, it's pretty bad. And then Shawn's dad walks up, who he does all the paint and body work on my cars. And Shawn's dad walks up and Shawn's dad goes, oh shit. And I was like, and Shawn goes, can we make a pass? And he goes, that's not going to hang on. He's like, if you go anywhere near 100 mile an hour, that whole thing's ripping off of there. And I was like, oh, wow, it's really bad. So, and of course, the TV cameras are there, right? Because we're filming right
that
now.
makes it worse.
So now, in front of 3 million people, I just drove the front end of my car off into a hole and ripped the whole front end off of it.
Well, what had happened was all those holes, you couldn't see those holes. There's grass. So whenever they mowed them,
They smoothed it out.
It looked like there was. It looked like he was free and clear.
So you really didn't feel it out with your feet or anything. You
Well, I
just
didn't
kinda,
step in that hole. If that's what you're asking. So
No, I didn't know it because
Hey, I
Shawn would have
gave
dropped
him-
a foot.
Yeah. Hey, I gave him the thumbs up.
You could have lost sight
If
of him.
Shawn dropped in that hole, I'd have seen him go.
Yeah. I gave him the thumbs up.
I'd have had
said,
to
"You're
throw
good."
him a rope to get him out of this fucking hole. Because my car hit so hard. Look, it hit in this hole so hard you could turn the front tire over and it was hanging there.
Yeah. Man, and
Oh,
that,
God, I'm sorry.
and the fiberglass cracking was the loudest thing I've ever heard.
No, it sounded like Jose Canseco fucking broke the bat in the fucking finale of the fucking World Series with all the steroids and the shit going through him.
Oh,
Yeah, it was brutal, man.
So-
it was brutal.
Basically, so then I'm pissed. So then we all get the idea, Monkey and Shawn's dad and everybody, we get the idea that we're going to do this thing like an old 300EX three-wheeler,
Yeah,
four-wheeler.
Big 10.
Old
Yeah.
big red four-wheeler, three-wheeler. And we're going to zip tie it up.
We're
So
gonna stitch it like Frankenstein.
So we drill a bunch of holes in it, okay? And we're stitching this thing with zip ties. And it's starting to look like fucking Frankenstein. Like, damn. I mean, hey, I'm looking at this thing going, damn. Right? So we get it all stitched up, and it's still not enough. Shawn's dad still isn't really. He's like, man, you got any tape? And I was like, oh, wow.
That's when I seen it, and I went,
So
damn.
Shawn, and guess what? The only tape that we have in this shitty parking lot and all of our fucking shit, the only tape we have is Kawasaki green.
Yeah.
Like the neonest fucking brightest green you've ever seen.
yeah, like Gorilla Tape.
So we tape this up with neon green 200-mile-an-hour tape. We get it all done, and it looks fucking terrible. Go to the starting line, and I'm thinking, all right, just forget about the front end. Just remember that today you reset the suspension up, you put a good drive shaft in it, you got it all sitting low, everything's ready to rock, right? Remember that.
There were stories with the drive shaft, too, wasn't there?
Yeah, and so go up there, I do my burnout, I let off the trans brake. It makes it about 100 foot smoking the tires, and then
I was gonna say it didn't make it 100 foot.
No,
It
it
started
was-
smoking
no,
the tires
it was-
as soon as you let
no,
off.
but I mean it made it 100 foot before
you
it
drove it out 100 foot.
grenaded.
Yeah, I wouldn't
mean,
say it made it anywhere.
I'm going 60 mile an hour smoking the tires sideways.
The tires are doing
And
240.
I felt like I drove over an IUD. Like I felt like this, whatever the fuck. It was like there was a mine in the ground. I mean, there was a fucking bomb, a weapon of mass destruction
IUD.
in the ground. This motherfucker went off and just took out everything underneath my car. Sparks, fire, flame, everything.
Yeah.
Dude, blew the whole fucking, I mean, the drive shaft came apart, ripped the transmission apart, just tore everything up in the car. This is a few days before I got to race Detroit, right?
It's about the time my phone started blowing up.
So then, then I'm really mad. If you thought I was mad over that front end deal,
It made you forget about the front
hey, I
end.
forgot
I'll bet.
all about that
Yeah, I
piece of
didn't even
shit
think
front
about
end. So now I got a, an $8,000 Rossler transmission that's just blown the fuck up. And it wasn't the transmission's fault. It was my fault. When I put the drive shaft back together, I forgot to put one of the clips on it. And so the U-joint come apart on the first hit, ripped the whole back of the drive shaft off. So pretty much now I'm fucked. So I put it all back in the trailer, and I'm like, I'm going home.
We pushed it all back in the trailer.
Yeah, so we
With a
pushed it in the
trail
trailer. Yeah, we
of
put
transmission fluid.
all of the transmission fluid is in the ground.
This is about the time you got the funk, right?
So hang on.
Yeah.
So we're getting this thing in the trailer, and all of a sudden, like, right about the time we're strapping it down, I feel this like bubbling and it's like gurgling
Oh, I
deep
know.
down,
We all felt it.
and I was like,
Yep.
oh, I was like, what? I was like, wait.
He goes,
I was like, oh, what was that? Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
So then we finished driving it down. We shut the door. I get my mic off, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm going to go see what's wrong with it. We get in the truck, and I'm turning the trailer around, and then it's like, and it's way deep, too. Like, I mean, I got bubble guts right now, and I'm like, that was weird. You know, I'm like, I wonder if it has anything to do with that large pizza that I ate on the way here. You know what I mean? And Monkey's like, no, I had that same pizza. It was fine. So I'm like, maybe I drank too much water. No, that wasn't it. So maybe I just need to drink some more. You know, so I drink a little more water, and it's down there just, I mean.
It's coming up.
It's churning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making mud butt soup down there right now.
I made a few buckets of that.
So I'm cruising along, and I'm like, I stop and get some diesel for the truck. I stop and get diesel for the truck, and I'm pumping diesel. This guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, you're Chief," and I'm like, "Oh." And he's like, "Hey, man," he goes, "You don't look so good," and I was like, "Yeah, thanks, buddy. I'm having a rough night." And he goes, "Let me get a picture." Well, at this point, I was so irritated with this guy who can tell I'm in bad shape and my car's blowed up and everything else. And he's going to fuck with me at 2 a.m. on the side of the road when I look like fucking death. Yeah. I made sure and coughed in my hand a couple times before I shook it. And then, and that way, I know that at some point, he was feeling me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get back in the truck. We leave there, and we're cruising along down the highway. And I said, Monkey, I'm going to have to pull over. He's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Something's happening. It's going one way or another right now. And I'm not sure which way it's going, so I need to get out of this truck." So I get out, walk back to the back of the trailer, and I am fucking full-blown trying to retrieve one of my testicles through my mouth. I mean, fucking, it was the worst. Dude, there was more large pizza from Love's Truck Stop on the side of the highway. Like, I don't even know that. I can't even believe I ate that much pizza. And it's bouncing off my shoes, and it's just going everywhere. And cars are driving by, and their lights are, and dude, they're getting a shot of me just projectile on the side of the road.
You're
right?
lucky you didn't shit your pants
Right.
while you were doing
Hey,
it.
I'm holding my butt with both hands. My head is against my trailer door, right? So I'm leaning on the trailer with my head, and I'm holding my butt with both hands, and I'm just throwing up. And I'm thinking, man, just if a cop shows up, he's gonna make me do the walk. Like, he's gonna think I'm hammered, fucking drunk right now.
And you probably failed.
I'd have shit all over him. So I'm thinking, like, oh man, if I do end up shitting, it's going in my socks and my shoes and everything. So I'm like, just keep puking. So then I get done puking, there's nothing left. Then I'm dry heaving, and I'm trying to walk up to the truck, and I keep slipping in the puke because it's like on an incline, right?
I had no idea it was that good.
Oh, dude, so I'm slipping and falling in the puke, and I'm trying to walk up to the truck, and I'm screaming help, you know. And I'm just like, I just want Monkey to pull the truck up so that I can get on the road without slipping and falling face first in the puke and the large pizza. And so I'm like, there's pepperonis everywhere. So I'm like trying to get Monkey to pull up. Of course, he's on his phone, so he's just zoned
and probably
zoned out.
jamming out in the truck.
So I open the trailer door, I get me a bunch of paper towels, and I'm wiping my face all off. And it's just, it looks like, it looks like a shotgun went off. You know what I mean? There's just fucking, it's bad. So I get myself halfway cleaned up. I get back in the truck, and I'm like, there's blood vessels that have busted in my face from dry heaving so much, and my eyes were like barely in my head, like, and there's just red, and it's terrible. And I'm sure it smelled fucking amazing. So I get back in the truck, and Monkey goes, "Oh, man." And I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. Why you been texting? I've been out here puking.
And he said, "You feel better?" And I was like, "No, like, not at all." So I got to get home. So we start driving, and I'm thinking to myself, it's Tuesday. Now it's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday morning. I have a car that's just totally trashed, and then my health isn't doing so great. And I don't have insurance, so I don't have any money to go to the hospital or nothing. So I text my buddy Jeff, and I said, "Hey, do you know anybody that has a Rossler 3-speed transmission that I could buy but I meant borrow.
yeah.
He did
knew,
say-
he knew what you meant.
For the record, he did say bye.
Yeah, but you knew
I know what he meant. Oh, yeah. I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
So Jeff texts me back and he goes, I got one right behind me. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I've got my cars with me. He's just now leaving the SEMA show.
Phoenix.
Phoenix. He went down there. He got to drive some Camaros for GM.
Brand new Camaros.
Yeah,
for Hot Rod
the
Magazine.
ZR.
Yeah, went down there and
SS2.
took them off for a rip.
Yeah, he went.
Oh,
Thank
I
God.
beat the cock off those things.
Chevrolet lets Jeff drive these fucking new Camaros at the racetrack,
new
and
test cars.
and
he,
dude, none of they won't let him do it again.
No.
I mean, none of them are running. They're probably still not running.
yeah, but you went faster than they did, right?
Way faster than those.
yeah, but he
yeah.
made 82 passes in each one of them.
Yeah.
He blew the tires out. They told him to do a burnout. He's doing donuts around the camera guy till the tires
You
blew
should
out.
have seen the pavement I was on. The camera guy's like, right here will do. He's like, why don't you burn around the other car? I said, yeah, I don't think
gonna
that's a
wipe
great
out
idea.
both of them.
I said, let's start out around that garbage can. I hit that son of a bitch.
Yeah, let's try something different. That way we don't wreck both cars at once.
Yeah, Jeff's not really a drifter.
No,
he's
not
a
at all.
drag
he,
racer.
he goes straight
They
line.
think he's fucking Ken Block out there with $70,000 Camaros.
Yep.
So, yeah. So then Jeff says he's on his way back from Phoenix, and I'm like, well, dude, can you you want to swing through Oklahoma? And he's like, fuck yeah, man. He goes, I got you. He goes, I'll be there in a day or whatever.
It was a day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, right on. He's got a transmission in the trailer. We're gonna be good. He shows up here. No. The transmission is in his Pro Mod that he just won drag weekend with.
Yeah.
So now we have to get.
Probably Hot Rod.
Let's take a.
Let's
We're
take
gonna
a
take
caller.
a live.
Hot
Give me
Rod.
your phone, Jeff. We're gonna take a live caller.
It's Hot Rod, the TMZ of the drag racing world.
Yeah.
Those fucking guys.
Oh, yeah, huh?
God
Yeah.
damn.
So, anyway.
So he gets here. We got to pull the transmission out of the fucking Pro Mod to fix my car, and I had to overnight a drive shaft. It was just, it was getting tight. We were getting tight, and I'm still sick. And then Shawn gets sick.
I don't even know
When
how.
I showed up,
Kentucky
Sean
gets
got
Just
sick.
got sick.
So me and Jeff decide we're gonna go to Waffle House.
Yeah,
That was cool.
which is really fucked up, by the way.
What?
Hey, you were
What?
sick.
You were
Yeah,
two-
sick.
You two
Yeah, but-
bailed.
How many days have I not been sick and you guys didn't go to Waffle House? This
That's
guy
a
right
weird
here
question.
doesn't ever want to go.
That's a fucked
That
up
is a weird question. There was a lot. That was a double negative.
It's like a,
Hey, Monday
man
morning
love
when you was in
thing
the
going
hospital,
there.
me and Jeff went to the Waffle House.
Yeah, did y'all take
we
the Jimmy?
did. No, we didn't.
So you didn't
No,
have a
we
good
didn't.
time.
you know, Jimmy.
Dude, me and Jeff borrowed Sean's Jimmy, GMC Jimmy that Sean bought for a family member of his.
It's a
and,
sweet piece.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, we ended up doing a bunch of donuts in the field, and then we jumped it into the parking lot. We were having a fucking good time.
We
Without
got
me.
we got
Without me.
pictures of the jump.
Yeah,
and that
without
was
me.
Friday the 13th, right? So then Friday the 13th, we put my car back together. Nothing fits. We have to basically ruin a $3,000 transmission to get it in my car.
That's just the bell housing.
Oh, the
of
bell
that
No, the
I
bell
should've
housing
got
was
about
three.
the
Yeah,
bell
there's a
housing.
Browell bell
Yeah.
housing. It was like $2,900 for the bell housing, and we, the starter was on the wrong side because I got a fucking Pontiac, so we had to blow a hole in this fucking bell housing so that it would start the car.
And the whole time I was drawing it, I was going,
He just bought this.
You bought
And
this
I
son
said,
of
Jeff,
a bitch.
I'll just buy that bell housing from you. He goes, no, you won't. He goes, you're going to get me a new one. I was like, no, I should buy that one. He goes, no. You're going to get me a new one. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, he's too smart for that. So we get the car running. Everything is seemingly going okay. We take it out. Sean is sick. Kentucky's sick. So it's me, Phantom, and Jeff. That's it.
Skeleton crew.
Skeleton. And Phantom wasn't, I'm not sure if he was aware of what we were doing because, he's kind of taken on the job of our marketing guy. So he's our pictures and our social media guy. And, not this night. This night he was crew number 2. I
He
mean,
was everything.
he had to do everything. He had to do wheelie bars, parachutes, backing it up, pulling it forward, pouring the juice. Because I was driving it. Jeff's doing all the other stuff. I mean, we had to line this deal out quick. So we went to one spot about an hour away. Car wouldn't move. I mean, every time I let off the button, it smoked the tires.
Horrible.
It wouldn't move. So we loaded it back in the trailer. We go to another spot. Car still wouldn't move. You know, we thought it was the spot. So then we're changing stuff on the car. Change the tune-up. Car won't move. Won't
Mind
make
you,
a pass.
it's freezing out.
Yeah, it's
really cold.
fucking cold.
really
and
cold.
we're all just kind of getting over being sick or just getting sick.
Yes.
It was cold.
And so then, and there's still puke all over my trailer. So we go to this other spot. It still wouldn't move. We change everything on the car. Still wouldn't move. Finally, Jeff decides that he's done fucking with me. And he said, listen.
Whoa. That was a mutual agreement between Phantom and I.
Yeah,
we were
Jeff
done
says,
fucking with
Jeff
you.
says, listen, 3 weeks ago I told you those tires were junk. And I was like, the tires are fine.
Before I
look
went to
fine.
SEMA, I
They
told
look
him the
fine.
tires were
I
junk.
said, they only got 20 hits on them, Jeff. He goes, I don't care if they got 5 hits on them. I'm telling you by looking at them, they're junk. And Phantom goes, we're not going to go back out with you until you change the tires. And I was like, what? Like, we had a fucking mutiny.
It's a full-blown mutiny.
They impeached me on
Hey.
the side of the road.
Yeah.
Hey, we strapped that goddamn car down 6 fucking times. We were done, man.
We were done.
I wasn't sliding under that fucking car one more time. The last time I Zeused the fucking front end on, I was laying on the pavement with my head
He
on
was.
the ground.
He
I was
was.
out.
And I walk around the side of the car. Jeff's just laying there on the ground. I was like, what are you doing, man? He goes, I'm feeling pretty good right here. And I was like, yeah? So I helped him up off the ground. Him and Phantom pretty much looked at me, and I said, man, let's go sling the 4-link bars. I think we need to get the intersect point out further. And both of them said, I don't care what you do, but we're not going back out with you unless we change the tires. And I was like, damn.
He
all
could have
right,
put the ladder
well.
bar back in it. It wouldn't have fucking mattered.
No, dude. Hey, I tried to leave at 3,800 RPM and 3 pounds of boost, and that fucking thing smoked the tires.
Phantom and I are looking at it like,
So why would you think the tires were bad?
I don't know, man. It just for some reason, I just had my head up my ass. I couldn't
mind
get
you,
over it.
3 weeks ago I told him they were junk.
Yeah.
Well, my last set of tires, I had 31 passes on, and they were fine.
I mean, and you can look at those that are on the car now, or were on the car, and you know, hey,
I
they
see
don't
what he
look
did
bad.
there.
They don't look bad.
The good years?
So we're
Yeah.
No, they were bad.
we're
You can
No, no, no. You can look and they weren't bad. I'm saying
Look at him.
the
Look
tire
how mad he is.
indicators.
don't
Look how red he's
tell him. He
You and
fucking,
his
after
fucking
they strapped
wear
that car down that
indicators.
many times, you can't talk to them about fucking tires.
The,
Okay.
the, the,
Wear
the wear
indicator.
indicators were still really good.
So
Okay,
then-
the wear indicators on a slick are for stupid people.
I'm not real sure why Phantom's laughing over there. He was my tire guy before, and I've shown up with a race
Chief
with
Plum
cords
beat
showing.
the sidewall out of that tire. That tire was
Well.
beat. But anyways,
So we go back to the shop.
wear indicators.
We change the tires. Hey, like I felt like Cole Trickle. Change my tires. We got back to the
Staggled.
top. We're back to the shop. We change the tires. It's fucking 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. We're still testing 24 hours before Detroit gets here. We load the car back up in the fucking trailer. We go all the way back out to the fucking test spot. Unload the car again. And this time I said, well, if you motherfuckers are so goddamn sure about these fucking tires, then I'm just going to turn it back up. And they're like, well, yeah.
You know how he
Well,
talks.
yeah.
He said, I'm going to put it salty, he says.
Yeah, I said, if y'all think that's all it
Gonna
was,
make it
then
sporty.
I'll just
Sporty.
put the salty tune up back in it and see what happens. Like, because I'm thinking you guys are full of shit on this tire thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show you.
Phantom and I
I'm
go.
gonna show you.
Yeah.
So you probably actually put more power in it just to prove your point a little
Phantom
bit.
and I looked
yeah.
at each other and said, hell yeah.
Hey, so I come out of the burnout. Of course, Phantom has black shit. His face is covered.
He
His
looked like a
face
tar
and
He's
baby.
hands-
not really used to knowing where to stand.
Hey, this motherfucker's face and hands are covered in black shit.
I said, hey, Phantom, you got shit on your face. He's like, yeah, fuck it, man.
We've been going. Hey, when we left the shop that day, I told them, guys, I said, if you're going with me, I don't know when we'll be back.
Yeah.
We're not coming back, and we're not done until this car either makes a fast pass or it's broken again. And Jeff, of course, he's like, what the fuck else am I going to do? I'm
Yeah.
living
Yeah,
behind
I
your
know,
shop.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Lives in a camper. out
I
behind
really
the
ain't
shop.
got nothing going on, you know?
So I didn't have any tires, so we had to take Jeff's Pro Mod apart and take his wheels, his Mickey Thompson wheels, that they don't make anymore, by the way.
Yeah, they,
no,
Just
I
to
know.
let y'all know,
yeah.
they don't make those wheels anymore.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
They were nice.
We had to take them off his Pro Mod, put them on my car to go make this test hit, right?
Yeah, just one-time deal.
One time deal. Go make a test hit. So I come out of the burnout. I feel it skirt out of the burnout. And I was like, God damn it, it's going to work. Back up, put it on the brake, let go of the brake. The bitch fucking rides out fast, front end fucking rocking. I mean, straight. It was beautiful. And I went, well, goddamn, Jeff Lutz and Phantom were right. I feel like a dipshit. So drive back to the trailer. They're like, woo! Dude, you'd have thought we done won the Super Bowl.
We
finally
did
made
win
it.
something.
Yeah.
We made
Some fucking sleep.
after making 11 hits in a row that smoked the tires. That was something. What
Yeah.
we just did. So we pull the car back around the trailer. Now you got all the people that work in this industrial park. They're out there
Coming
hanging
to
out
work.
with us.
Oh, we met Mike, the shift
Mike,
manager.
the shift
Oh, yeah.
manager for this
Oh,
building,
yeah.
he comes out
Yeah.
there and he's got his big giant cup of coffee, says Employee of the Month on it and shit, you know. And
Chief walks behind me, goes, "We got one coming in hot." And I look at him. I said, "I got this."
I thought he was going to kick us out. You know what I mean? Because this big guy with a suit on is coming out, not a suit, but he looked like a manager position.
He looked,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's coming out there with his big cup of coffee, and I thought he was fixing to go, yeah, if you guys could just leave, that'd be
Move
that'd
it
be
on.
nice,
That'd be great.
You know, that'd be great. Yeah, and then give us the shooter, you know.
Give us the shooter.
Well, he comes out of there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, because that's not the kind of guy I can talk to.
Yeah.
He's not my people, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'll go,
No,
what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jeff, we got a bogey coming up behind us, coming in hot. And Jeff goes, yeah, I seen him. So I walk off. I like try and walk to the front of the trailer to like get away from the guy, because if he says anything smart ass to me, I'm like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and then
Right off the bat. You
Yeah.
don't even give him a chance to
nah,
talk.
fuck you, faggot. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know?
He wants
Yeah.
to throw down with his
Probably
dude
throw
before
him
he
on the
even
ground
comes.
and shit. Chief would throw him on the fucking ground.
Fucking right.
And then be like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
no,
yeah,
you
I'm
got-
Chief.
yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'll take a picture with you. You
No.
know?
Yeah.
Well, fucking Jeff sees him coming from 20 foot away. Jeff goes, hey, buddy, what do you got in that coffee? And I'm like, oh, here we go. This guy's fixing to hit Jeff with his coffee. But, dude, Jeff knows how to talk to this guy, because all of a sudden the guy's like, oh, man, it's just coffee. What are you guys doing? And he's hanging out. He's Mike. He's a shift manager. Him and Jeff know all about each other. They're showing
Yeah.
each other pictures of their kids and shit. Like we.
Yeah.
He said we can hang out there as long as we want. And I'm like, well,
Unbelievable.
I'm like, fuck yeah, man. He goes, all the people that work there wanted to come out and watch us. He goes, I told them, you leave them boys alone. They're just out there trying to get this deal done. I'm like, damn, dude, this
Good
is
job,
amazing.
Mike.
Dude was awesome.
Thankfully, Jeff was there, because if Jeff wouldn't have been there, I'd be like, what the fuck do you want,
Yeah.
faggot? And
yeah,
then,
he'd
you
have
know.
been like, look, you got to go.
He goes walk away. I said, "See you later, Mike."
Hey, he
Take
did,
care,
too.
Mike.
The guy's walking off. He goes, see you, Mike. Have a good night. And I was like, how the fuck do you know his name? He goes, he told me. I was like, man, I wasn't paying attention to nothing that guy
Yeah,
said.
I would have said, hey, see you, Mitch.
Hey,
Take care, buddy. That's my
Mitch.
problem is I can't get nobody's name right. So, you know.
So we go. I turn it up even more at this point. We go back up there. Mike, the shift manager, leaves. We go back up to make another hit. The car's even faster, and I'm like, well, cool, it's fixed. So
The
don't
crow
touch
was
it.
doing what it normally does.
Yeah, the crow's
Yeah.
yeah, it's fucking flying. Oh yeah. Earlier in that night, we had an electrical problem. The car wouldn't start. I mean, dude, we had more trouble, and we loaded that car in a trailer more times. I mean, it was ridiculous. So it's like something was telling us we shouldn't have
It's
raced.
Friday the 13th. Man.
Yeah, Friday 13th.
All week it was like something was telling me not to go to the race. Like, just leave the car at home. But not us. We're too
We're
fucking
forcing
hard-headed.
it.
We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Fake
then-
kept on saying, well, let's blow up his transmission. He can't fix that.
let's
Hell yeah,
let's
you did.
rip his
Yeah.
front end off.
Let's rip his front end off. Nope, they're going to fix
Let's
it.
make his
Let's make
computer
his
not
tires
work.
bald, you know?
Let's make his computer just not start the
Yeah,
car.
let's let a license disc run out
Yeah.
and shut the car
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, shut the fucking car down. Nope, not us. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
We will fucking. Jeff Lutz wired around that computer so fucking fast its head spun.
Yeah.
It,
Now I'm looking back thinking that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should
so, the next day, we fucking rock and roll. I'm like, should we change the wheels out and put your tires on my wheels? And, Jeff's like, yeah, we could do that. I'm like, you know what, man? I ain't touching it. The car's making hits. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to wait till after this race. I'll give you your
and
wheels
I was
back.
stunned. I'm like, he's going to go out there with these chrome ass shiny wheels.
It looked good on the
So
car.
everybody agreed that they really look good on a car.
They did.
So,
Yeah, and we
thinking, all
agreed
right.
that the chrome wheels look good on the car, and whenever we got back from this race, we might actually talk about putting some shiny wheels on the car, make
Yeah.
it look better. Yeah, Phantom's already talking to our people about getting me some shiny wheels on the car. Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
We go to the race, we get there. It really seemed like everybody was scared to race Chucky. You know what I mean? It seemed like nobody wanted to race the orange Mustang or Chucky. That's the way it seemed to me. Not you, because I know you didn't give a fuck.
No, I didn't. It didn't matter to me.
You'd race anybody.
Yeah.
But it did. It seemed like nobody wanted to race, So that's why I was like, hey, you know me. I like to race the baddest motherfucker here. Brian Davis, he's the baddest motherfucker. I want to race him.
Yep.
Because everybody's scared because he beat Monza already.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, goddamn, his car's fast. So whatever. I'm cool with that. Well, I raced him, and I was whipping that ass.
You were?
I had him.
His ass.
I was out on him, and shortly before the finish line, he came into my lane, clipped my rear quarter panel. That spun me into a world of fucking broken shit that I'll never,
Disaster
ever
and yard sale,
dude.
is what
Yard
it did.
sale.
There was a 1972 Le Mans / 1970 GTO yard sale out there, about 580 foot.
It was pretty brutal running down.
Dude,
seeing wheels,
it kicked the car sideways.
Turbos.
Went into a barrel roll. There was nothing I could do to save it. Car barrel rolled a few times from what I heard, then ended up going end over end. Went over a fence, went through a fence, went over a fence, ended up like near a pond.
A shit pond.
A shit pond. Like
Yeah,
a turd churner
stunk.
pond. Yeah,
It
no, it
stunk
stunk
out
terrible.
there.
I thought it was me. I thought I'd shit my pants.
think
Well,
he
there's
shit
at least
himself.
5 of us out there that could have shit our pants at any time. I had ran about 600 feet looking at all these parts, from my buddy's car.
Holding his
And,
ass.
I thought I could have shit my pants, so it might have been me.
Yeah, and as the car's going over, right, I'm in there and I'm thinking to myself, yep, this is it here. This is a good one. This is gonna hurt. Like if I come out of this one with my legs and shit, I'll be surprised. And then as it's flipping, dude, it's flipping so fucking fast.
Yeah.
That I thought it was gonna rip my arms off.
Yeah.
And so I'm grabbing onto the steering wheel so tight, like with everything that I had to grab that steering wheel. And my jaw, I was clenching my face so hard because I was using all my strength to hold the wheel, that my jaw still hurts. Like there's something wrong, I think, in my jaw. From now on, I need to wear
You should get a mouthpiece.
a mouthpiece, yes. Like I fucking think so, man, because if I'd had a mouthpiece and my
arm
neck,
restraints.
my neck is
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
It's the arm restraints. If I'd had arm restraints, and then of course if I hadn't had that fucking carbon fiber seat in the car, I don't even think I would have went to the hospital.
No.
You
No,
know.
no.
But anyway, after it was all said and done, the car's totaled.
It
It's
is.
it's gone.
It is.
The crow
it's a
is
mess.
gone.
It is for me. I mean, I've had buddies crash before. Not ever a best friend or anything, but that was the most. God damn it! That is the most brutal crash I've ever witnessed. Like I've seen a lot of crashes, buddies or not, and that is the worst one I've ever seen. Like not on TV.
It was that bad.
It was that bad.
That's the thing I can't understand.
I ran 600 feet down there to get to you, and then when I got to you, I didn't go to you.
Why not?
Because the dude's yelling, he's hurt, he's getting an ambulance, he's hurt. And plus, I just had run 600 feet. I really needed to catch my breath a little bit.
He's been working out.
But, hey, man, I was passing people. And I was doing good on the way. I was fucking hauling it. Kept on having to pull my pants up. And I was running.
He was passing the camera crew that was carrying all the heavy
Yeah.
shit down to get you filmed.
And once I got there, I didn't come over to the car. Because, the dude's yelling, he's hurt. So once I got there, I didn't go over there. Once I got there, I just kind of hung out. So I don't know, man. It was.
So as you're running down there, what were you thinking? I mean, you were thinking.
Well, as I was running down there, the first thing I passed was the whole front wheel of the car and A-arm brakes. All that shit was still on.
How far from the car was that?
Shit, 200 feet, maybe 300
So
feet.
200 feet from where the car stopped,
When
you passed.
first hit the curb, that's when it broke the wheel off. And then I kept running. I saw the hood. I kept running. I saw pieces of the front clip, and then I kept running, and then the whole turbo, header, everything
Holy
laying there.
shit.
And it was just, dude, it was 300 feet of a GTO yard sale is what it was.
Jesus.
And nothing was usable. I mean, it was trashed.
And so you were just worried that I was.
Well, I mean, the dude's yelling, he's hurt. I didn't want to go over there and if you were dead, I didn't want to be the first one over there.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that. That fucked me up.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stayed back, and then they were like, he's talking, So, but the dude's yelling. Fucking asshole is yelling, he's hurt. People, we know he's probably hurt. You know what I mean? You don't need to be screaming, he's hurt, get somebody over here. If the ambulance could have got there any quicker, they would have.
Some people just can't handle that situation,
So,
that's all.
You don't have to scream, he's hurt,
No.
he's hurt. Ambulance was already coming. They were already on their way. He's got friends, family running up there to the car. You don't need to be screaming, he's hurt, he's hurt.
It sounds like most of my friends were hanging out at this point. They weren't coming to the car. They saw what happened. They weren't coming to the car.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't imagine. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I can't fucking imagine you or any of the guys in this room or anybody that we race with. I can't imagine them being in a wreck that's as bad as you describe it and running towards the car and finding all those parts on the way that far away. That would pretty much stop me dead in my tracks.
Dude, it was
because
big parts.
I would believe. I'd start to believe that person is in a world of
that's what I thought.
I wouldn't want to see some dismembered friend of mine in a race car because
Yeah,
that would really hinder my ability to ever want to be back in a race car.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I can see where you're coming from. That would fuck me up.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And my first thought was once I stopped, I tried to find Alicia because I knew at some point
Alicia's my wife.
Yes, and I knew that she was running there too because I had passed her on the way.
She's 3 foot tall.
Yeah. Her legs, her legs don't. She don't have the stride I have. So I remember passing Alicia. So once I got to where I finally stopped, I looked around, and then it was one of those deals where, man, do I keep her from going over there? But then I thought I can't keep her from going over there, and man, she's tough. Alicia's tough.
She's mean.
Alicia's tough, man.
I don't think you could keep
she
her. She
doesn't have a heart. I don't think. And she ran right over there, and she acted like she was cool.
Yeah.
Which she was worried. Of
yeah.
course
Well,
she
she got to me right, and I was like,
she's used to this. She's some sort of nurse, or
she was a respiratory therapist, but she's used to being a mean ass.
Yeah,
she's her whole life.
Yeah,
and she got over there to the car as I'm trying to get out of the car, and she was kind of crying, and I was like, dang, like she's really tripping. Like that must have been a really bad crash. And I said, babe, I was like, you okay? And she goes, no, I hit the goddamn barbed wire. And I was like, what? And she said there was barbed wire strung across the fence. She run into it. She wasn't even crying because she was worried about me. She was crying because she run into the fucking barbed wire. And she's probably mad because you beat her down there.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Competitive ass.
Yeah, she probably wanted to be the fastest one down there.
She's like, here's my chance. We're racing.
Here's my chance. I'm racing.
We're in the hospital, right? He's laying there. She brings him food, and it's dark in the room. Well, he coughs, and he's looking at his hand, and I see him looking at his hand. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, hey, babe,
that
turn
scared
the
the
light on.
fuck out of me, dude.
So he got blood all over his hand. He's like, God damn, I spit up blood. And she goes, you'll be all right. You bruised your lungs up. I'm like, God,
dude,
I'd be
it wasn't
fucking
just
yelling for the
blood.
doctors,
Yeah.
the ER, everything. I'd be like, God damn, somebody get in here.
It wasn't even just blood. It was like big chunks of shit that had blood all over it. Like I coughed it into my hand. And I was just like, dude, I was like, that's not good, right?
Yeah.
So I asked Alicia, and she's like, you're right. You bruised your lungs up pretty good.
He looks down at the bed. It's strewn across the bed. He's like, God damn, I'd have been wiped out. I'd have been fucking screaming for people.
I'd have been pushing the button, talking about, get in here.
I'd have held that bitch on.
You'd have been kinking all your cords to get them in there, you know? Man, dude, it was bad. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm in the car, and I'm in the car after the crash, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, that was horrible. Boosted is there. Dave rips the door off the car. I couldn't get the door open. Dave rips the door off the car. Boosted's standing there. Alicia's standing there. The EMTs get there, and Boosted won't let me out of the car. And I'm like, let me out of the car. He's like, no. And I'm like, let me out of the fucking car. He's like, no. I'm like, what's the deal? Am I that bad hurt? Like, I'm looking at Boosted going, hey, am I all right, man, or what? And he's like, I don't know, but you can't move till the EMTs say you can. So then I start getting mad at Boosted. I'm like, you little skinny little motherfucker, let me out of here, you know? So finally, Boosted and Dave let me out of the car. I get out of the car. The EMTs are standing there, and they're like, were you driving this car? I'm like, what the fuck you mean was I driving this car? And they're like,
somebody was.
They're like, where's the person that was in this car? I was like, that's me. And they're like, oh my God, like, how are you standing here, right? And where I landed, there was like all these rocks. And so like I'm standing kind of crooked, and I start thinking like, oh man, one of my legs is like falling off or hanging off or something, because I can't really stand up straight, you know. And I'm like, God damn it.
Be all fucked up now.
So I'm looking down to see if I like pissed or shit myself, you know, and I'm not really that hurt. I didn't feel like. So I walk up towards the ambulance. They get me in the ambulance, and
they tried to put you on the stretcher.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm not dead.
Yeah,
I'm walking to the ambulance.
Yep,
which is pretty stupid.
The producer. The producer told me, and the sound guy told me that as soon as the car stopped, I'm in there making noises because I was having hard trouble breathing. I was, you know what I mean? And when I finally got done doing that, they said that I asked, is Brian okay? Is Brian okay? Because all I could think about is I have a really safe car, and I've made sure it's a safe car.
Yeah.
And to go through what I went through, and to feel the way I do, if Brian's car wasn't like mine, he's dead. So I'm like, is Brian okay? Just tell me Brian's okay. And they're like, yeah. And then I just kind of stood there like, man, that was a hell of a ride.
Well, his crash wasn't as brutal as yours. He rolled quite a few times,
well,
like 4 times.
Going as fast as me.
But hey,
yeah, I mean, bitch, he was behind. Come on, baby.
He didn't go end over end.
Yeah, dude, it was rough. So
his car's pretty trash too. But he was walking around and he seemed.
Man,
good.
he came over to me, and he was
very sincere.
Very sincere.
That's cool.
He was emotional. Yes. And he was trying to make me understand that he was sorry. And I was like, Brian, what are you sorry for, bro? Like, this is what we do. You know what I mean? He's like, well, your car's trashed. I was like, I gave up the right to be mad about that when I lined up next to you. Just the way every other time I've ever lined up in the car. We have agreed to this racing bullshit, and we've agreed to the outcome of it. And if I end up dying in this car, or this car ends up getting crushed or destroyed, that's kind of what I agreed to. That's kind of part of it. Yeah. So I'm not going to hold him responsible for it. Yeah, I mean, if he crossed the center line and hit me, that sucks. But
that's racing.
You know what was I going to do? You know what I mean? There's nothing. I can't be like, you owe me a car. Like, fuck all that. You know. So, and he couldn't believe that it was like that. I was like, dude, I'm just glad that we both get to go see our kids tomorrow. That's the main thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the best part right now, is that we're both good. We get to go see our kids, and everybody's going to make it through. So, hopefully, Brian understands that I was sincere about that, and he was very sincere about that, and we're going to move on from that, and everybody's going to be okay. The car is gone. The car's trashed, but we're gonna move on. We'll build another one. We'll do something else.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Absolutely.
We got Jeff Lutz, and we got Midwest Street Cars, and we got all of our people and our family and you know, we don't have any money, but we'll figure out a way to put this deal back together in a different car somehow, and we're going to kick ass with it.
Yeah.
That's who we are. I will say one thing. Don Dial.
Absolutely.
It's in Seminole, Oklahoma, at Don Dial Race Cars. Him and Dusty saved my life.
Yeah.
I took that car to them 2 or 3 years, 4 years ago, whatever it was, and I said that I wanted some updates to the car, and they basically told me, you're going to die in this car. They said, we're not gonna build it for you. We're not gonna do anything with it until you make it safe. And they told me they'd work with me on the money side of it, and they'd help me make it safe. And they did. They spent over a year making that car safe. And looking at the car after the crash, nothing on the car failed.
Absolutely.
No, nothing on the car failed.
And I saw on the internet about how the seatbelt tabs broke, and that's all bullshit. Everything was intact. You were still strapped in. Everything on that car,
dude,
held up.
It's 100%.
My chest isn't even bruised where the straps went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's
That's because you strap yourself in tighter than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah. My wife straps me into the car. Yeah. I am so tight in the car, I'm not going to move. Yeah. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why I'm okay right now is because of the way that I take safety in my car. I strapped in tight. I make sure my belts are tight, make sure my helmet's tight, make sure my neck brace is tight. Like, you know, I want to live. I want to move on. And, dude, nothing in that car failed. I had to unbuckle myself when I got stopped. That is fucking badass. That says something about Don Dial Race Cars in Seminole, Oklahoma. He built a very safe car, and he saved my life. So, for all the folks out there who were, looking at the pictures of the car and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. You can say what you want, but Discovery's not paying for my car. The network's not paying for it. Pilgrim's not paying for it. They're not even helping me with my hospital bills. You know what I mean? I didn't even get flowers. Like, look, this deal's all us. We agreed to this, and this is where we end up. Now, we're going to rebuild the car on our own, just like we built it the first time, and we'll come back from this, and everybody's going to be bigger and better because of it, and hopefully it opens everybody's eyes to a little bit more in the safety aspect of street racing. And I'm very, very lucky to be alive right now. I've got basically a fractured or broken back, but I'm up, I'm moving, I'm walking. I'm getting fitted for a back brace. They're not going to have to do surgery. It's just a crushed L2 and 3, they said, which I don't even know what that means. They say it's not that bad. Broke my collarbone, which I've done that 100 times in my life, so that's that's nothing new there.
Every time you crash a four-wheeler.
Every time I crash four-wheeler or, football or, anything. Yeah. I broke my collarbone a lot. And then I got a lot of bruising on my lungs, so coughing up blood still, and I'm still not 100% right, but that's what they make Percocets and shit for, right?
Right on.
So
get you through it.
To get me through it.
Yeah.
This is going to give me a few weeks here of sitting at home on the computer to find me a new car. You know what I mean? And let's put something together that's going to kick everybody's ass again and rock and roll.
Yep.
We're glad to have you back, that's for sure.
Yep.
Man, I got to be honest, though. I wasn't real sure if you were going to build another one.
Really?
Yeah, he said that to me. I'm like,
well,
nah, come on.
You've talked about it now, and you've gave yourself a timeline of when you're going to quit doing this, and I thought maybe that just shortened your timeline a little bit.
Yeah, I told myself that I had another 2 or 3 years of drag racing left, and then I wasn't going to do it anymore until my boys got older. I want to be able to follow my boys around. And, man, honestly, I was sitting in the hospital the first chance I got to see my boys, and CJ and Corbin came in there to the hospital room, and they're sitting next to me in the bed, and I've got, of course I got oxygen going through me and IVs and tubes everywhere and cords all hooked to me, and I'm in a fucking Betty Ford dress, and
Yeah.
and they're sitting there looking at me, and Koval said, "What are we going to build now, Dad?" And Corbin said, "Hope it's blue," and Koval said, "Let's make it green," and so like there was no look in their eyes or my wife's eyes like, thank God this is over and we can do something else. So I don't feel like it's time yet. You know what I mean? The minute that I feel like I'm taking away from them and what they want to do, then I'll quit drag racing. But as for right now, I still feel like they're a part of what I'm doing. Once they start to separate and do their own thing, that's when I'll quit. So I feel like I got another 2 or 3 years left in me, and what's the point of doing it half-assed? Like, let's spend every dime we got to make these next 2 or 3 years badass, right?
You got a lot of people that back you up on it.
Yeah, I got a lot of people that love me, a lot of people that want to see me do good, so I just wish some of them were rich.
Yeah.
We need to find that guy. Is there anybody out there?
It really sucks that everybody that likes me is poor.
Yeah, is anybody out there who's really rich who wants to give us money just to come and hang out with us?
We need about $80,000 right now. Because
we'll
perfect.
hang out
80,
3 days
would
a week.
Get me really close.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, the podcast was a little long, but we had a lot to talk about. Next week, we're going to try and get Dave on here and go over his new car and where he's at with it and how it did on the show. And a lot of people know about the fate of it, and we're going to go over all that. So.
Talk about his plans.
We're going to get real damn serious on the Chief and Shawn show. This shit's going to get,
I don't really like getting serious.
I don't like getting serious either, but hey, man, sometimes you got to serious on people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you crash a car and almost die, you got to talk about it.
That's serious.
That's pretty serious.
How do you not talk about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to talk about it.
People want to hear it.
Rock and roll next week, same time, talking about the same shit we're not supposed to talk about on the show that doesn't exist and the people that we're not allowed to talk about. Street Outlaws Monday nights.
That's right. Until then, take care.
See ya.
See ya.